The COP30 Leaders Summit last week brought together more than 140 nations to outline priorities for the year ahead. At the opening ceremony, host and Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva warned that time is running out to save the planet, as global temperatures have already passed the 1.5 degrees Celsius mark set by the Paris Agreement.
The loss of human lives and material resources will be drastic. More than 250,000 people could die every year. The global GDP may shrink by up to 30%. That's why COP30 will be the COP of truth. It's time to take the warnings of science seriously.
Among the key announcements was the Tropical Forests Forever Fund, a mechanism to channel both public and private money into forest protection. More than $5 billion was pledged at the Leaders Summit, and discussions at COP30 are expected to address how to change an idea into an actionable plan.
We have more words, more promises than action. That's true. But the world would be very worse if we don't have the climate conference and this kind of agreements. We don't have alternatives. We have to go to follow, to go ahead with the discussion, to create hope.
The United Nations Climate Change Conference is where governments from around the world present their commitments and action plans. But it's also a place where civil society, NGOs, independent researchers and activist groups come to push leaders with their own agendas.
Environmental organization Greenpeace brought its ship Rainbow Warrior to Belém ahead of the conference and joined indigenous leaders for a demonstration and press event, calling for a stronger participation of civil society inside the so-called Blue Zone, the restricted area where the key negotiations happen between government representatives.
I think the big question is, will it be heard inside the Blue Zone? And I think that's always a question mark that we need to address. We cannot keep having more lobbyists from private sectors and from sectors like the fossil fuel industry, for example, inside the Blue Zone, in delegations bigger sometimes than most of the countries.
We think that compared to other COPs, we may have a little more access here in Brazil, but it will still be very insufficient to address the demands of indigenous people.
The COP30 Leaders Summit in Belém outlined the broad ideas: new financing tools, stronger cooperation and the call to end fossil fuels. Now it's up to negotiators at COP30 to decide how those plans will be put in practice to effectively implement global climate goals. Paulo Cabral, CGTN, Belém, Brazil.